Hey everyone, Becky here with my very special guest, El Jefe.
Daddy.
We're back with the 2019 recipe project, but today's gonna be a little bit different in case you can't tell, because we're gonna make a cocktail. So this one is kind of twofold. One, I wanted to tell you how obviously cocktails are not healthy. There's no way around that. I'm sorry. But the better the ingredients that you use, the better for you, or at least the better type of indulgence you're gonna have with a cocktail. No one's gonna tell you to never drink again, but there's a difference between high quality liquor, low quality liquor, fresh squeezed juices, real kind of tonics and syrups and stuff like that. And so we're gonna show you that a little bit. And then also, this guy over here had an idea to kind of introduce a frozen gin and tonic.
Well, my favorite cocktail is a gin and tonic.
Yeah.
But in the summer, sometimes I crave like a frozen cocktail, but I don't want one of those sweet, goopy,
super
pina
sugary
colada type of cocktails because I like to have more than one.
This is a grown-up frozen cocktail.
Yeah. So
we're gonna make a frozen gin and tonic and kind of see how it goes.
yeah, so what we're gonna use today and talk about quality spirits is, this is my favorite gin, which is Bar Hill Gin. It's made by a friend of mine in Vermont named Todd Hardy, and it's basically distilled from really good quality grains with juniper and a little bit of raw honey that is from local hives right in Vermont there. So that's the gin that we're going to use. And since we're making it frozen, because we don't want to use regular tonic water and ice because that would dilute the tonic too much, so we're going to use a tonic syrup. And this is kind of cool because this is from a local distillery right here in Delaware, in Smyrna, called Painted Stave Distillery. And not only do they make their own spirits, but they make some of their own tonics, syrups, and additives and things like that. So this one,
read the ingredients.
yeah, I should. This one is actually, pardon my glasses, made with cinchona bark, hibiscus flowers, and lemon balm. But it has definitely like a quinine-y sort of tonic flavor to it. And so that's what we're gonna use. So,
but it's cool, sorry to interrupt you,
okay.
but what's great is that notice how sugar wasn't one of the ingredients in this. So when you hear syrup, I think a lot of people think simple syrup, but a gin and tonic isn't an overly sweet cocktail. However, most standard tonic waters are filled with a lot of sugar. So
that's right.
This actually isn't, which is really cool. And then just to get back to this gin really quickly, if you're not a gin drinker, I actually still really recommend trying Bar Hill. I wasn't into gin at all, and I actually got to write a piece on Bar Hill.
That's right.
A few
You
years
talked
ago.
to Todd on the phone, I think.
I had an interview with Todd, and he called this the gin for vodka drinkers because it has that juniper in it, but that little cut of honey, which is raw honey too, not some artificial sugar pumped honey, makes it a little less floral. So he calls it the gin for vodka drinkers, and this is actually what introduced me to gin, and now I love it.
Yeah, and it's delicious even as is, just chilled in a little glass. And the coolest part is this little honey bee right on the top. Love it.
Yeah, they're
Love
small batched too, so everything
Yeah,
is
very
hand
small
labeled.
batch. The bottles are numbered and everything, so this is really good stuff. So we already got to experiment with the recipe a little bit to try to perfect it, and the cool thing about perfecting a recipe is you get to drink the one before and say, now what does this need? And then you drink another one and then you say, well, what does this need? And each time you make it a little better, or you just perceive that it's better because
better.
you've had 2 cocktails before that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make kind of like a double batch here. And I'm gonna do about 4.5 ounces of gin.
Are we making one for working man too?
I don't know, is he gonna stop working?
Oh, my husband is locked in the office working, so we're all kind of
Workaholic. No, he gets one later.
we're all torturing him with the cocktail.
We're gonna stand outside and show him that we're drinking cocktails. So then we're gonna do about 1.5 ounces of this tonic syrup, and most gin and tonics are clear. This, I think, from the hibiscus obviously has a little bit of a red flavor to it. I mean, a red color to it, I'm sorry. And we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna squeeze some fresh lime into it.
While he's doing that, obviously there's no tonic water, but what's great about the tonic syrup is you have to add ice, obviously, to make it frozen. If you were to do a seltzer or tonic water plus the ice, it would be really diluted. So now we're actually removing that piece and just using the tonic syrup, so the ice isn't going to dilute your drink any more than having ice in a regular drink would dilute your drink.
That's right. So now this is one of those blenders that you don't just turn it on. It has all these variable speeds and stuff. I can't stand it actually, but it has a button for frozen drinks. So that's what we're making. Here we go. See, it pauses and then pauses and goes a little bit more.
We didn't think you needed to hear that.
The buzzer of the blender. Anyway, so now what we have is a nice kind of thick, slushy
It's pretty.
gin and tonic. It has that little pink hue to it from the hibiscus, which is awesome. And we're going to see how we come out here. This should make just about 2 nice big glasses. Cold enough that you can get brain freeze. And I think what we'll do is garnish with a couple limes.
One of these is for me. Sorry, Mom, behind the camera. You have to wait for the next batch.
And we
I
have
don't
a
get
little
one.
fresh basil from the garden, so maybe we'll put a little bit of that in there too.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and there we go. A frozen gin and tonic for the summertime, for gin and tonic lovers.
Let me taste it.
Yeah, you should.
Oh.
Here's to you.
Here's to you. Oh, that's really good.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really
that's
good.
really, really good.
Okay.
But just as a quick side note before we wrap up, the reason we talk about high quality spirits is, yes, they're a little bit more expensive, but they're made so much better. So if you notice, maybe I noticed this because when we were younger, we bought really bad quality
stuff.
spirits, but they're almost like syrup. They're thicker. They kind of come out and they leave like legs on the bottle. You know how wine leaves legs?
Right, absolutely.
And that's just pure sugar and artificial crap that's making it do that. And that's why it's cheaper, one. But two, your drink's not as good, and it really is adding just more toxins to your body than, if we're being honest, alcohol already
Well, and the
is.
distillation process of those cheaper, whatever they use, actually does produce some toxins.
Yeah.
I can't get into the science of it because I don't know that much about it, but there's a reason why a bottle of gin costs $32 and there's some out there for $7.99.
Right.
Believe me, there's a huge difference.
So, you know, obviously this whole project, our man had a little cough attack there.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, obviously the whole point behind this project is not to have the healthiest, cleanest versions of everything, because we're humans and we're gonna live. We wanna have cocktails, right? The reality is that alcohol is already bad enough for your body, just being honest. Get the good stuff so you're not making it any worse than it is. It's worth it, it tastes better, and you can make one of these. So,
Yeah, or 2 or 3.
yeah, we're gonna start with
5.
one, let you go, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how many
Check
more
it
we
back
have.
in with you maybe later.
Yeah, but until next time, cheers.